so much. Hi, everybody. I am Kathleen Hosfeld. I'm the Executive Director of Homestead Community Land Trust. And if you are an elected official, would you please raise your hand and wave at everybody? We're so grateful that you're here. Thank you. If you are one of our funding partners, please wave. Yay! Thank you so much for being here. This is an especially auspicious day and occasion. And because we're near a church, I'm feeling the spirit, right? So this has been a long time coming. Can I get an amen? The project we launched today was actually the first development we pursued after I joined Homestead. We conceived of this project in 2016. And 2 other projects were identified and funded and constructed before we got to this day at this location. I like to say, evoking John F. Kennedy, that we don't do homeownership because it is easy. We do it because it is hard. It's not a moon landing, and it's not rocket science, but the barriers that have kept and continue to keep people from homeownership are many, which is why this day is so special. Through this project, hardworking people in Tukwila and King County who have been shut out of the opportunity to own their own home will have that opportunity. They will purchase here at rates far below the market, securing a stable home free from the fear of displacement, a predictable and affordable housing payment, the opportunity to build equity, the opportunity to build community, and the economic mobility that comes from ownership. Affordable home ownership is the answer to redlining, restrictive covenants, and other forms of discrimination that have shut people of color out of ownership. Amen. Thank you. It's also a solution to our runaway housing costs that prevent all but a privileged few from buying a home in the present market. We create affordable home ownership not because it's easy, but because we are called to address past harms, called to correct present inequities, and called by our view of a sustainable, affordable, and inclusive future for all. We are so honored to welcome esteemed guests and speakers, including Governor Jay Inslee and First Lady Trudy Inslee, Tukwila City Councilmember Deshaun Quinn, King County Housing Director Jacky Boynihan, Parkview Services Executive Director Mark Cody, and Homestead homeowner and board member Susan Zeman. But before we get too much further, let's take time to give thanks. We have been given the duty to live in balance and harmony with each other and all living things. So now let's bring our hearts and minds together as one, as we give greetings and thanks to each other as people. We give greetings and thanks to the first peoples who lived on this land, the unceded territory of the Duwamish people, who through their history and continuing leadership care for and steward this land. We give greetings and thanks to all manner of life that call this place home. We give greetings and thanks to the land and waterways that sustain us. And we give greetings and thanks to the ancestors and elders whose wisdom guides us in this moment. We don't have time, as much as I'd like to thank every person that contributed to this moment, but there are a few I need to name as we begin. Eric Pravitz, Homestead Community Land Trust. Woo! Valerie Thiel, Sage Architectural Alliance. Mark Cody, Parkview Services. Evan, Joel, and Dawn from Edge Community Builders. Coterra Engineering. Karen Keast Landscape Architects. Langtree Land Surveying. Robeson Engineering, Tina Ilvanen, King County special shout out, who made sure we learned of every possible resource we should pursue to complete the funding on this project. Her role was instrumental in bringing us to this day. City of Tukwila and Mayor Alan Eckberg, members of the Tukwila City Council, Councilmember Quinn and Councilmember Cruller, who I hope is with us today, Jerome Lyons of A&R Solar, O'Brien 360, led by Alistair Jackson, Hillis Clark Martin Peterson, and some folks who were with us from the very, very, very beginning. Pastor Jan Bowlerjack, Graydon Manning, Rand Redland, Philippa Nye, Jesse Thomas, who we hope is watching from the UK, and Quinny Tan, who we hope is watching from Paris. We are especially grateful to our funders, King County, the State of Washington, and Community Frameworks, and the bank that has provided construction financing for this project, Heritage Bank, and our great partner there, Alex Pace. Where are you, Alex? Yay, there you are. There are so many others who I have not named who deserve to be remembered, and I apologize that for purposes of time or my bad memory, I've left you out. But let's everyone just please take a moment to silently greet them and thank them with me. There's a very special person I want to thank who is unfortunately not able to be with us today. She was a champion of this project from the very beginning. When we named the audacious goal of making this a demonstration project of net zero energy and salmon safe stormwater management, she jumped into action and mobilized every conceivable resource to make that happen until her unexpected passing in 2019. She had a special heart for Tukwila and wanted the people and children that she loved here to have the opportunity to live in healthy and affordable homes. We're so glad to share this day with her friends and members of her family, those of whom are here in person, and also those who are watching on the live stream. Hi, everybody. To tell you more about this remarkable person and her work, we recorded a video interview with her sister, Ellen, to share with you today. So you can watch that here.
I'm Ellen Southard, and I am the identical twin sister of Patty Southard. We shared a career in sustainability and green building, and I'm the founder of Site Story, a practice that's committed to community engagement and empowerment. Patty was very gregarious, charming, fun-loving, very determined. She was a fighter. She fought for what she believed in, hardcore social activist, Oxfam ambassador, strong environmentalist. So she had all this charisma, and she used it to benefit social good. I mean, she was a social activist, really. Patty was very engaged early on. Our family was very engaged in environmentalism because we were born in the New Jersey Pine Barrens, cared a lot about wood, and she was offered a position in 1998 at the Duluth Timber Company. We knew the owner, and it was entirely recycled wood from deconstructed buildings. And then from there, she went to work at the Environmental Homes Center. She took a lot of classes, and eventually got her position at King County as the manager of the Green Tools program. So under Patty's leadership, King County Green Tools led the Z-Home project along with a number of other agencies, and it was the first net zero energy project in the country. Also only used 30% of the amount of water that the average home used. They won quite a few awards for that, and the program itself, the Green Tools program, won a number of Harvard awards as well. Like anything else, is if there's enough, it's supply and demand, right? So the supply was there, it was the demand that had to be there, and a lot of it was policy making. I mean, she had influence over regional government collaborations as well as the cities and King County, and so she knew if they created policies that could benefit projects, like particularly lowering the cost of permitting, so that there were permitting incentives for green building, increasing incentives for affordable housing that was green. So all of that really led to, she understood how to leverage her role in government to make that happen. She was a strong advocate for green building for all people and for inclusiveness, and was really influenced by a number of our cousins who had special needs, both developmentally disabled and physically disabled, our cousin TJ in particular. And so your projects and other affordable housing projects like that, it was important to her that people with special needs were included. You know, she was really committed to making sure that mainstream America could live in healthy homes. Well, we were on similar paths, and so I'm a green building consultant, and most of my work is around water quality and stormwater, salmon recovery. I get to do a lot of work with the tribes and also frontline communities. So not only do I get joy in making a difference, but I also get joy in carrying on the work with Patty. You know, I get to do it for both of us, which keeps her alive in some ways. There was no bigger kid than my sister. So I think when there's little children laughing in that place is when her spirit will be there.
Thank you, Ellen. I have tissue if anybody needs it. It's right here. Patty, I hope you're here today celebrating with us, and I hope we make you proud. To say more about Patty and this special project that she made possible, it's my honor to introduce the Honorable Governor Jay Inslee.
Thank you. Trudy and I are so excited to be here for many reasons, one of which is I spent most of my life growing up in White Center. And when you grow up in White Center, you think of Tukwila as kind of the Paris of Washington. It's where the cosmopolitan people live, who are always thinking over the horizon and inventing new situations. So isn't it exciting that Washington State, that built the first net zero arena, Climate Pledge Arena, and the first net zero apartment building, the Bullitt Center, is now doing and approaching net zero equity housing here in Tukwila, Washington. What a great achievement. And it is a great achievement. We know that those in the environmental community care about the environment, but they care about people first. And people need housing in Washington State. We need to build housing in Washington State, all up and down the spectrum. Low income, equity home, middle. We got to build our way out of this homelessness crisis. And we are building right here in Tukwila to do that. And we're building a way that can give people a piece of the Washington dream of equity, so that they can grow with equity in their home. And so I cannot tell you how excited I am, because our state needs hope right now. This homelessness crisis has struck deep in our hearts. And we have to know that there's hope to actually do something about this by taking action. We are taking action today in Tukwila against homelessness. And you're going to see improvements in the next coming months and years because we are taking action. And the reason we're taking action is Patty Southard. Ellen, could you come up here just for a second? Come on up here just for a second here before I leave. One of my joys as governor is when I meet someone in Washington State who's made a huge impact, who's inspired us all, who's lifted our dreams and our hopes. I can name them the Washingtonian of the day. And when I do that, I take off the governor's Apple pin and pin it on them. And today, this is a joint Washingtonian today. The two Washingtonians today are Patty and Ellen, the twins who are giving us so much hope. Congratulations, Ellen. Thank you for inspiring us, Ellen. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ellen. Congratulations. Thank you. That's the first time I've ever done that as a co-Washingtonian of the day. And those twins deserve it. I want to talk just for a minute about why, from the sustainable and health perspective, I'm so excited about this development. This was developed with multiple sources. This is a perfect example of partnership. By the way, another round of applause for the church and Pastor Bollerjack. It's incredible what they've done. Marrying the church resources and assets with the Department of Commerce. And our state started an effort to really use this kind of project to lift our aspirations of what is in the realm of the possible for clean, green building, to reduce the energy costs of the homeowner and not increase carbon dioxide emissions. And we're doing here with this fund that we set up what we've done for aerospace. We invented in Washington State the jet airplane, essentially a commercial jet airplane at Boeing. We kind of invented software, starting at Microsoft. We're now inventing a new housing system by using this fund, Washington State Fund, to create funds to go out and people show how to get this job done. And from this project, there's going to be carpenters and sheet metal workers and plumbers and pipe fitters who are going to learn new systems so we can replicate this out all the way through Washington State. And look what we're doing. Look what we're doing right here. I'm just going to go through some of rooftop solar, going to generate all of the electrical needs of these residents. Hot water to reduce energy costs 30% using heat pump electric water. Energy Star appliances, including induction cooktop range. Look, this gas stuff, it's not natural gas, it's dirty gas, and we're not going to use dirty gas in these residents. I'm very excited about that. Heating and cooling using an air source heat pump. Energy recovery ventilation system, so you have good, clean air. We know during COVID, ventilation has become more and more important. These outfits are going to have tremendous air quality and ventilation. Double pane windows. All the way from soup to nuts. This is using high-tech systems to give people healthier air, lower electrical bills, and fighting climate change. And Patty's inspiration has gone so back. So she went back decades before fighting climate change was cool. And what we're doing here now is we're going to use her legacy not only for these residents, but for builders all across the state of Washington. The revolution in building starts right here in Tukwila. Congratulations to everyone.
Governor, would you help me announce the name of this project?
It's not a secret at the moment, but in any event, okay. We're going to do this?
Yeah.
It is. The Southard. All right. There we go. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, Councilmember Quinn.
Hello, everyone. I want to, thank the governor for being here. Welcome to Tukwila. You've been here before, and we really appreciate the recognition and your participation. And then, I told myself if there was an opportunity, I would say this as well. We are grateful to have a governor who has really worked towards reminding us all that there's a call to action. So I want to thank you for that on climate, but also for our health. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else during a pandemic than under the leadership of our governor. All right, so let me introduce myself. My name is Deshaun Quinn. I'm on the Tukwila City Council. I have a few words, and I'm going to struggle a little bit, and I'll tell you why. First, I want to thank Homestead, our nonprofit community partner, and Kathleen Holtzfield, and the team and the city of Tukwila staff to make it happen. For creating the opportunity that Tukwila is a place where a multi-unit, affordable home ownership in trust happens. And I also want to thank you for finding the solutions that I know it wasn't easy. I know it wasn't easy for staff. We talked about permitting and other things, but we are truly breaking the mold. Doing something innovative, energy efficient, and affordable in Tukwila. I am so thankful. Designed for low-income families to use no more energy than what they generate in a year. I want to have a special shout out to Graydon. You were there in the beginning. This was a struggle, it was hard. Pastor Jan, it's been a long time, right? And I'll just say, as an elected official, you kind of got to make the decisions 5 to 10 years before. You have to be willing to see the vision. Now, on this site, there'll be 18 affordable homes, 3 to 4 bedrooms, named in the honor of my friend, Patty Southard. I've known Patty for over 10 years. And I thought it was important to share why Patty is so special to Tukwila. Some of this you've heard and some of this you haven't. So Patty pioneered incentives and solutions leading to the mainstreaming of green building. Special shout out to her partner in crime. Where is Nori Katabai? Please wave your hand. She was a leader in raising awareness of the suburbanization of poverty and the associate challenges faced by communities like Tukwila. In Tukwila, and this is what makes me smile, she was influential in supporting the Congress for New Urbanism Legacy Project to help us really plant a vision for the future. In Tukwila, she volunteered her time and expertise to help Tukwila pull off the come sit at our table. If you don't live in Tukwila, you probably don't know, but you should know. Because to this day, I believe we broke the world record for the largest community potluck.
Yes. Yes.
That was Patty and her leadership. And what was so special about that was she continued to help something that we all have, and that is a sense of place. But she even helped sharpen it and showed us how to celebrate and lift up what is our strength in our community, and that is our diversity. Patty had a passion and expertise for green building, sustainability, and social justice, and this is where I will diverge from my remarks. Patty and I used to talk about, because I'm also involved in the environmental community, and we talked about energy efficiency, climate change, and really doing it in a way that lifts up climate equity. And I believe that is the reason why she picked Tukwila for that project. And she knew how passionate that I was for social justice. And plus I worked with her, so I could walk upstairs and, we could chat it up. But let me just help you with the definition of climate equity and tell me, does this not represent the community that we're in? It ensures that all people have the access and opportunity to benefit from climate solutions while not bearing an unequal burden of the impacts of climate change. It means those who contributed most to the pollution bear the greatest responsibility to respond. And frontline communities like Tukwila that have often experienced the earliest and the most acute impacts of climate change, that face historic and current inequities, and have a limited resource and/or capacity to adapt, are provided the greatest access to the opportunities and benefits solutions provide. Doesn't that sound like the city? And I want to make sure and recognize our partners, our federal partners. I know we have a representative from Patty Murray's office in the back. Please wave your hand. Also King County and our partners. And this is why it's so important, the governor and the state giving us the tools to make it real and doing it in a way where we're committed to climate equity. So I thought a lot about today. Patty, I got my newest blue suit on for you. Because Patty used to always say, you know, you're sharp and you can be sharper. So one, here's what I think Patty would say, and Ellen, you know, you be the litmus test here. She would say to everyone, we can meet our challenges with action, but most importantly, in doing so, we do it with compassion. And another thing that I used to do is Patty used to always have the latest books, and I would always borrow them and never give them back. So I'd like to end with a quote, because I've taken on that, to continue to challenge myself, to learn, to be a part of the solution. And this is from Brene Brown, Atlas of the Heart. Compassion is fueled by understanding and accepting we're all made of strength and struggle. No one is immune to pain or suffering. Compassion is not a practice of better than, or I can fix you. It's a practice based in the beauty and pain of our shared humanity. So I'd thank you very much. I miss Patty so much. She was just my partner in crime, and we pushed it right on to the edge. That's what we used to do. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce someone else who I have, I would call a partner in crime, and that is Jacky Boynihan. And I know she's the interim director. She'll tell you the rest of her title. We worked on affordable housing, I swear, for like 6 years, maybe longer. Yeah. And Jacky's gonna come and give remarks. Again, thank you all for sharing this time and space. And I want to thank Patty for sharing her time in this community. And it's only right that a development bears her name.
Thank you, Councilman Quinn. And thank you, Governor Inslee, for recognizing the significance of this new project. I am Jacky Boynihan. I'm the interim director for the Housing, Homelessness, and Community Development Division at King County's Department of Community and Human Services. That's a whole lot of words. And in my role, I oversee our housing finance program, which Tina Ilvenen leads, that Kathleen mentioned earlier. And that's the program where essential projects like this that are innovative receive funding from the county. And the Southard really demonstrates what's possible when we work together, and I'm really proud to be part of this celebration today. This building represents the vision we have set out as the county to create more green, affordable housing that residents contribute to climate resilience and live affordably and stably. Patty was a force in this work, as you've heard. She cared deeply about community-driven housing development that is green, healthy, sustainable, and affordable for generations to come. Patty worked tirelessly to elevate the Green Tools program at King County, and that commitment to accessible, green, and affordable housing continues today. King County has an incredible, innovative green building program because of her expertise and ability to collaborate amongst jurisdictions throughout the county. Through the King County Cities Green Building Task Force, the Sustainable Cities Roundtable, Regional Code Collaboration, and King County Cities Climate Collaboration. That's a whole lot of groups. And King County's Housing Finance Program did award over $2 million to this project to provide critically needed affordable home ownership for low-income families here in Tukwila. And I'll note 2 of these homes are part of this project will be sold to Parkview Services to serve people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So I'll let Mark speak to more about the importance of that designation. But these homes will prevent displacement, deliver housing stability, support inclusivity, provide cleaner air, and lower utility costs. The county's investment helped ensure these homes would be certified net zero energy using high quality, non-toxic systems that generate more energy each year than they use. And they will not rely on combustion systems. These homes will be healthier for residents and the community, and will achieve lower monthly energy costs than typical energy systems. We applaud the work of the City of Tukwila, the leadership of Mayor Ekberg, Homestead Community Land Trust, Parkview Services, community members who made this development a reality. We are proud to see Patty's legacy of a restorative and regenerative community carried on in the Southern. Now I want to welcome up Parkview Services Executive Director, Mark Cody. Thank you.
Before I get started, I'd like to recognize Representative Mia Gregerson. I think, can you raise your hand? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Governor Inslee, Councilmember Quinn, and Director Boynihan, thank you so much for your remarks and support of this project. And thank you all for being here today. My name is Mark Cody, and I'm the Executive Director of Parkview Services. It is my honor to be here with all of you celebrating the groundbreaking of this fantastic project, and to honor Patty Southard. We're so grateful for all Patty contributed to this project, and certain that she would be proud of how far along it's come. Parkview Services is a 55-year-old nonprofit organization that provides affordable housing and support services to people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, also referred to as IDDs. For many people with IDDs, affordable housing is impossible at current market rents. The average monthly income for people with that Parkview Services rents to is $1,139. And while the average monthly rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Tukwila is $1,610. So this is over 40% greater than the average income of people with IDDs. Projects like this one create inclusive, permanently affordable, and environmentally sustainable housing that is greatly needed in our community. As part of this project, and in partnership with Homestead Community Land Trust, Parkview is excited to construct 2 homes that will provide affordable rental housing for people with extremely low incomes and IDDs. To be built from the ground up, these homes have been designed with accessibility front of mind to help ensure high standards of living and care for our residents. Along with HCLT, we are also working to add water conservation and water reducing upgrades and to the development to ensure that we are being mindful stewards of the land. We all know how much hard work goes into efforts like this, and we have been fortunate to have had strong partners get this project to where it is today. The Washington State Department of Commerce, King County, and the Federal Home Loan Bank have given funding to this project. Because of their backing and the support of so many others, we will be able to provide permanently affordable, accessible, and environmentally sustainable housing for people with IDDs right here in Tukwila. We are so grateful for your support. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Homestead Community Land Trust homeowner and board member Susan Zeman. Thank you.
Hi. I'm Susan, as mentioned. I'm a nurse at one of our local hospitals. I'm a mom of a teenager. I'm a volunteer at my local park. I am a proud union worker. And I am a homestead homeowner. My family bought our homestead house in 2016 after our rental house became uninhabitable. And suddenly and unexpectedly, my family had to move. Now, I'm curious, in the crowd, raise your hand if you're a renter. Who's a renter here? Okay. So, yeah, that happens sometimes when you're a renter. Sometimes you're just minding your own business. You're going about your life. You're doing your thing, trying to get by. And all of a sudden, you have to pack up everything you own and find a new house. It's pretty disruptive. It sucks up a lot of your family time, your income, your energy, and it inhibits the kind of community connections that make a couple of blocks of housing into an actual neighborhood. And for working class families like mine, homeownership is out of reach, and those are the punches that we just have to take. But I am a homeowner now. And as I mentioned, I am also the mom of a teenager. And a lot of people know that school just got out for the summer. And so my daughter is now a senior, and she's going to graduate from high school. And amongst her graduating class is almost a dozen kids that she went to preschool with. And I got to tell you, as a mom, I'm just super happy that that's something I was able to give her, that she's going to graduate with a lot of the same kids that she has grown up with for her whole life. They're still connected to each other. They are a backbone of community for my daughter. And the reason my family gets to have that kind of deep community is because as our neighborhood gentrified, as the housing costs skyrocketed, Homestead gave us the opportunity to buy a house right there in our own neighborhood. Hundreds of my neighbors were not so lucky. So many families have had to flee, like Councilmember Quinn mentioned, the suburbanization, out into the exurbs even. And they pay for that, not only at the pump, they pay for that in the time lost to their families. The dinners that they don't have time to cook, the homework that they don't have time to help with, the neighbors that they don't have time to get to know. And every day I thank my lucky stars that my family had the opportunity to become homeowners in our neighborhood, that my family was lucky. Now, you might think that a kid's lifelong relationships, like my daughter's, are not that big of a deal, and you might be right. But buying a house allowed us a lot of little things that homeowners take for granted and that renters often can't afford. When we became homeowners, we finally got a puppy because we didn't have to worry anymore that our next landlord might not allow dogs. We finally put up those, the earthquake brackets on your bookshelves, right? Because we no longer had to worry about drilling holes into somebody else's walls. We bought some of that expensive cedar and built garden beds in the backyard. And we have learned to grow our own vegetables and eat salads still warm from the sun. We have worked with our neighbors to plant more than 10 trees right around our house. And I expect to still be there to enjoy the shade of those trees. And most importantly, we have a richer community. Our neighbors, they're kind of like a family now, the way that you can do when you guys expect to be neighbors for the long haul. We pick up each other's kids, we feed each other's pets, we borrow each other's tools. It's the little things like that that make life beautiful. And they can be hard to come by for families that are forced to move regularly, chasing an affordable rent that is harder and harder to come by here. But my family is one of the lucky ones. But is that luck? Was it luck 30 years ago that brought people together to create Homestead Community Land Trust? Was it luck that has built Homestead into the place it is today, where we are about to break ground on, I think, our 5th multifamily community? Was it luck that brought together the millions of dollars in state and local and federal funding that it takes to build these communities that are going to be affordable for working class families like mine into perpetuity? No, obviously. Patty Southard didn't wait for luck before she got involved in environmental sustainability. She saw what needed to be done, and she did it. Homestead is not waiting for luck to start working on our next developments. They're already identifying more places where we can use what we're learning here and in our past developments to build more housing. The rest of us cannot wait for luck before we increase our support for developments like this, for developments that house the people who keep our community running. The teachers, the cleaners, the delivery drivers, the shop clerks, the dishwashers, the nurses, the moms. Today we're here because we need to make that luck. So I want to thank everybody who's here today who has done the things that are within your power to create that luck, to build more developments like the one that we're starting here today. Thank you.
You're on our team, and to pick up on what Susan just said, a great team makes its own luck. So I'd like to invite all of us to join in breaking the ground for the Southard. And we're going to have some staff that are going to move these chairs out of the way. And I invite our first group of folks, our speakers, and First Lady Trudy to help put on your hard hats and grab a shovel. And we will break the ground on the Southard. That's totally fine. That's great. Yes, absolutely.
Are we doing,
You gotta do work here.
are we doing several groups? Because I want to try to, is Patty in a different group?
Yeah, she's getting her.
Is she going to be in this group? She's going to be in this group. Okay.
So, we'll get you a little fast.
Oh, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Yes, need that.
See, that's what I'm afraid of.
Oh, that's a good one there.
This is Patty's favorite hat.
I might get one arm on there.
Seriously? Yeah, that's how we do.
All right. We got your shovel. All right, here you go. All right, you're gonna hand me some. There we go. All right, here we go.
Who's gonna lead?
You are.
I'm gonna lead. Ellen,
Yeah.
No, Jay, you go for it.
Okay, I'll count count to 1, 2, 3, and we go.
Are we going to spray this guy?
Yeah, that'll be a good shot. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Breaking ground. There we go. Southern. All right. There's the deal right